I'm going to invite us to explore what I call the Cascade of Needs. And but as we wait, maybe for a couple of folks to join, I'm going to share a little bit of music.
Do you hear the sound of a bell? Did you wish your family well? Times ain't the same in the neighborhood. Got the parents all going through hell, 'cause the guns keep flying off the shelf. Do you see the man on the street, just fighting for a meal to eat? You can write him off as a lunatic, but it could have been you or me if we didn't ever find our feet. Love me now, hold me down, and the government staying on heavy foot, and they try to keep us all down. No, they're never gonna keep us all down. Do you see the birds in the cage on the highway working like slaves? It's a con, it's a ruse, it's a gaslight. Ain't it funny how far we came for them to go and change the name? Do you see the man on the screen, just a puppet but you never see the strings? Calling it a war, not a genocide, telling us it isn't what it seems. Man, that's a different kind of greed. Love me now, hold me down, and the government staying on heavy foot, and they try to keep us all down. Love me now, hold me down, and the government staying on heavy foot, and they try to keep us all down. No, they never gonna keep us all down. They try to keep us all down. No, they never gonna keep us all down.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Before I start, I just come with a disclaimer that I'm feeling a bit woo, so I'm asking for your support in holding this session. And if I am weirder than usual or whatever, just have fun. Really inviting you to have fun, if that's possible. So inviting just a moment to connect with our breath. And what do you need? What do you need right now to be more fully present? Can you get it? Is it moving around? Is it touching the ground? Is it looking around? It's looking outside, connecting with the weather, having some food, wiggling your bum, wiggling your head, having a laugh, a deep breath. And as part of coming together, I just want to name that I would really like that we agree on taking care of ourselves. It's a long day for some of us, and it's a beautiful things are still coming. So if this is too much, inviting you to switch off, again, have fun, do whatever you need. And as we do that, taking also care and respect for one another. So how do we take care of ourselves without outsourcing the cost of fulfilling our needs? And part of what I would love to agree with is that curiosity, well, can we agree to curiosity? Care and respect for the space, which includes me and what I'm bringing you. And if you have different ways of presenting or anything like that, I'm always very curious. And if you can wait until the end, that would be great. And if you can't, that's also fine. That's all. Are we good with those things? Can we go on? Thank you. So I am going to share my screen to speak about what I'm going to call actually the biology of needs. And this might take a moment until I get my windows sorted. And while I do that, not breakouts, not yet. Deep breath. The share disappear. Here we are. Ooh, ooh, there we are. Almost there. Fantastic. So this comes from a lot of different things. What I'm going to invite to say, what I'm going to say at the beginning is exploring what I call the biology of needs. So where does need come from, and how do we respond to them? How do we respond to them as a living being? And I just need to move this briefly. Yes, there we go. Sorry, there you go. Ding, ding, ding. So this is not the truth. You might have a very different connection with needs, and a lot of the things that I'm going to say are really, really strong simplification. But I think it's good enough so that we can try it, the approach of the Cascade of Needs, which is a practice, but I just wanted to have some context where it comes from. So I'm going to speak about perception, needs, and separation. And if you imagine this here in the center is you or an organism of any kind, it could be a bacteria, it could be a human, whatever, and it does its thing, goes around, and it's kind of happy, and then at some point starts getting depleted in some way, and sends some signal somewhere in this body to start a search behavior. So it's like, oh, like I'm hungry. I go out and search for food. And I find something and I bring it to my senses, to my perception. And if it's the first time I am searching for this particular thing that will fulfill my need, it might take quite a lot of figuring out. So I take it in somehow, and I get some feedback about it. It's like, oh, does this feel right? Do I have some sensory mechanisms to taste it, to sense it, to weigh it, anything like that? And I do it through receptors. So that could be my eyes, my ears, my taste buds, whatever other receptors are there, the sound, electricity, etc. And eventually, when I deem this is safe enough, I bring it into the body. And then I get more feedback. The feedback is, oh, did that replenish my energy? Whatever need was there, or it didn't. And that goes into memory. And this is a really important part. The memory over time, the way that most organisms work, as far as I know, and this is not necessarily the truth, is that the memory reinforces all those processes of going out and getting the resources we need. Particularly, it will reinforce the organs that we have and the associations that we have with particular colors, flavors, sensations that we get from the resources that we bring in. So the perception and the receptors get a very direct boost from the memory, which is great because it will kind of save time. It might save us in search behavior if we have like an idea, oh, a banana looks like this, and I don't have to go like try all the things that are out there. So I'm looking for a banana. And it also saves in the feedback loops that are for each of these steps. So those behaviors that we save energy by remembering how a banana looks and not kind of tasting it and smelling it as much as we would do for the first time. But in not only in human culture, but in many other living systems, these can lead to, and I don't know why both came, sorry. forget about that we are separate, this can lead to bypass. So again, we might just avoid the perception or avoid the receptors because we are so used to the shape of the banana that we just get it and we stop listening to the feedback from the body. This can lead to bypass and manipulation from other species, from other parts of our own species as well. So we might be sold something that looks and tastes like a banana, but it's not. And our body is still thinking because the memory says, this is good for me. I'm still taking it in. And eventually, this both leads to us being separate because we are, again, not sensing the world the same way. And it gets stronger whenever we are separate because we are not sensing the world. That means that we can get what I'm going to call surrogates, or things that we get confused. Again, this would be the fake banana in my example, or it would be this very shiny, colorful balls instead of that pentagon that was the initial resource. And this can also be strategies that we have. A lot of complicacy and complexity in our systems comes this is my theory, or informed by other things that I've read and interacted with, are strategies that are in place because we have a need and we kind of get distracted by them. Addictions go also in this category, or can be in this category, and many other things. Oh, I'm sad we lost Fred, or I lost Fred. So culture will have a strong impact, or can have a strong impact. So it can have a whole cycle of reinforcement and association that is done through the surrogates, not with the resources that actually are the needs that we have. So again, I might be sold, I don't know, chewing gum and artificial banana flavor and all those other things, banana toys, you name it. And I get those I take in, I buy them because what I really want is a banana, but I get so much of the surrogates that at some point I start forgetting that what I really need is a simple banana. I don't know if this is making sense, but I'm going to stop there for a moment. So I guess what I'm trying to say, and this might be absolutely obvious for all of you, or slightly obvious, I don't want to make assumptions, but it's that sense of when I go trusting in those mechanisms of association, I become susceptible to decoys, to things that sometimes there are birds that use the color in their feathers of the berries that the female wants to have. Because she's attracted to that color, she's going to be attracted to the male bird, or at least that's what biologists believe. And you can see that in plants across species, there's a beautiful example of a wasp in the tropics that makes love to a flower. Literally, the males go and make love to a flower, and the flower gives some scent, some substance that has a smell to the male that then makes it attractive to the female. And all these really beautifully complex interactions may have come through those complex, beautiful ways that we have of perceiving the world and tasting and seeing what is what I need. And then what the point I want to bring and what I love about looking at our needs is about then how society can spiral us away from our actual needs with what we believe we need. But before I go there, I would just like to have some time to be with what I just shared. Welcome, Kuta. We're just exploring the biology of needs. So as we are a small group, I don't think we need to go into a breakout group. So just inviting, if there is something that resonated with you, that feels, yeah, I recognize that, or not at all. So, or any questions, anything that struck you from this short presentation. And maybe it's so absolutely clear that there's nothing. Suzanne.
Yes, it was very clear, and I love the way you put it. And you know, I work a lot with needs and helping people and identify their needs and watch them struggle. And so I actually started crying when you were speaking. Yeah, because I see, so it's so true what you're saying.
Thank you. Oh, I didn't expect that. Thank you, Suzanne. It touches me. So Kuta, I was just giving a brief theory, or not theory, but explaining how needs work in my view in a biological way, and how they can be, we can get distracted by things that look like what we need, but it's not, and how that can be then kind of blown big by, I'm going to say capitalism, sorry for that, but you know, by the economy systems that just want to sell us things, and sell us things that look like the things that we need, but they aren't actually. And we're just harvesting some comments.
Where do potato chips fit in that whole dynamic?
Good question. I have a bag waiting for me down there. A friend of mine actually says that for her, it's she can feel is the need for salt and fat. For me, there's something about the crunch, but it's a good thing to explore. Maybe we can bring that to our example.
I have to say, I went straight to chocolate, especially dark chocolate that can actually be quite good for you. And a number of very household names in chocolate in the UK that have just recently got downgraded from chocolate to chocolate flavored, because they've got so much other stuff in it, especially sugar, that's pretty rubbish. And then I was also going to, when, for example, a parent and a child are sharing nice chocolate together, the wish can be actually for the sharing with the parent more than it is for the chocolate, but it's the chocolate that gets pushed, and it's the chocolate that somebody's making profit from, whereas a parent's love isn't commercialized yet. Sure, it can be. So that marketing a substitute for something that you really want.
Need. Helen.
I bought into the idea of being tricked by a surrogate and having less of what is wanted and needed and good. And then when we got to the moth and the flower, there's the other side of it of, don't ask me to give up my surrogates. They might have been really the whole point of joy and satisfaction. And then part of the switching back and forth, is it real? Is it what I thought it was? Leads to a condition of not knowing, not who to trust and who to know, and which is right and which is what I myself think and feel. So that was all wrapped into your talk.
Remember the diet you discovered years ago, Mom, where there were two kinds of food, humming food and buzzing food?
No, I don't remember that one.
You don't remember that? No. The idea is humming is good. So you look at the food, is this humming? Do I really want this? Or is it buzzing in some noisy, artificial way like that's being sold to me? And the idea was if you only ate humming food, no matter what it was, you would get to a healthy weight. That the reason we overeat is because we're always eating the buzzing foods.
Wow, thank you. I like that very much.
Yeah, except why buzzing? That's not nice to bees.
Well, it doesn't have to be 0 or 1. Yeah. Kuta, I saw you were going to say something.
Peter, Ben, Kate, Helen. Suzanne, I'm extending my heartfelt greetings to all of you. And I'm very, very grateful that I'm able to join this session now. And I'm very much touched with the topic of about our needs, and it brings me to the situation of being born and into a world that did not allow us or allow me to be able to know what I need. So I was born and then discovered that I'm dressed up with clothes that I don't know what they're made of. They're made of what I don't know, and the food they start feeding me what was there, and went to school and they're teaching me things that they're teaching me things. So I think I've had very limited time to sit down and think about my needs. Only now that I'm very matured and I don't have parents again, I'm a parent by myself. So I have the chance now to determine my needs. So thank you very much. That's all I can say for now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kuta. Thank you. Right, so this is not going to take long, the rest of the slide, but just some of you started touching on that already. So I'm going to just briefly introduce the practice that I want us to play with. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, so it's for me is that sense of finding that distinction. How do I distinguish the buzz from the hum or the things that I need and I don't even know perhaps anymore? This is what I need. I need the love of my parent and I'm just having chocolate. Nothing that it's not that chocolate is not great, and I'm glad that there are some disclaimers here. So in the needs cascade that I'm going to introduce, the intention again is to discern between what is a need and what is a surrogate, or you can call it a false need, a distraction, etc. It's not a binary decision-making tool because, as we established, surrogates may have benefits. Sometimes there are other, I don't know, having a coffee when I'm tired may be a surrogate for sleep or a better lifestyle, but it might have the benefit that I drink it with other people, or things are more complex than what is being presented here, and so it's not a binary choice. It can bring, using this exploration of what I need, can bring actual balance and health to you. It can bring spaciousness, because very often the surrogates, although they look like streamlined, they tend to come with a lot of strings attached, whether we pay for that or something else in the system pays for that. And very often it can also bring resources, because not surprisingly, a lot of the actual needs that we have are quite direct, or used to be quite directly fitted with resources. And this has changed, unfortunately, but maybe looking at our needs might bring us back to something that is more trust-based and in a ground state. And interestingly for me, it can highlight differences between what I call needs and what I call commodities. So again, I need to have a bed to sleep, or I need a place to sleep, and having, I don't know, a four-poster gilded thing, it's a commodity, and actually it doesn't even sound very comfortable. Anyway, I'm sure you all know this. Important for me to stress this is that this shouldn't be used, or I ask you not to use this as a judgment tool for other people. So when I do this regularly, I start kind of looking out and thinking, oh, does that person really need that car? Blah, blah, blah. No, that's their issue. I have no idea what their needs are. I have no idea what other benefits, whatever they are doing, is bringing. So the invitation is to use this tool for your own work, your own projects, or with consent when you do it with somebody else. A bit like what I think Suzanne was describing. You know, we are, it's not that you can't even speak about this with somebody else, but do it with consent. It's not something to be judging others because of the nuances that can be there. And as we do it, and it already happened, it can activate feelings of shame for ourselves, of anger, of grief. And I invite us to take that discomfort as a signal for something. So is there something there we need to change? Is there something that we want to do towards the wider world? Is this just a sign of something that is happening at a global scale? So sometimes that discomfort might be something useful. And it's a simple question. It requires simple questions, honesty, and some time to reflect. And we take something, what do I want? I want a particular thing. And then I ask, why do I need this? Why do I really need this? Or what do I need this for? And then you might get to something else. And then if you get to something else, you ask, why do I need that? What do I need that for? And you go on like that until you feel, well, this is really at the core. I can't come up with something else. And the next step that is related is, what ways can I fulfill that need, that ultimate need that I got to at the end? And when you do that, you can use different lenses. So do I want to bring more simplicity? Do I want to bring regenerative living? Do I want to bring, I don't know, effects on the climate, effects on the people around me? So you can ask, okay, the need for my banana, how do I bring it in a way that, I don't know, doesn't harm the climate? Okay, do I need to move to a place where there are bananas? Or do I need to buy bananas that have something in particular that I trust is going to the intention that I have? And then you notice how the way of fulfilling the need might affect my overall wellness. So for instance, if I really need bananas and I make my life incredibly complicated so that I can, I don't know, have the way that I want to have, start stressing me, then I probably should revise this. So again, use this not as a way to shackle yourself to something, but as a guide, if you want to discern and bring awareness to why you are actually doing something, or why you are getting something in particular. And I'm going to just share an example that I read in Peter Green's book, Green Capitalism, many years ago. And it's inspired by that. If you want the exact details, you can go to the book. And it was about subsidizing electricity. So there was an idea, okay, people are struggling with, they need support. And the thing was, we want affordable electricity. That was the thing that the government was looking at. And I added, what do we think people want? Affordable electricity. And so there was this plan to subsidize, I call it dirty plans. It was just, how do we produce cheap energy? So how about asking, why do we need affordable electricity? And one of the main things that comes up is, we need to power fridges. Why do we need fridges? To keep the food cold. Why do we need that? To preserve food or to refresh people. So we that's the thing. We just go, okay, why do we need cold food? And everybody may have a different reason. But let's go with preserved food. That seems like, well, that's a very basic need. What ways can I fulfill the need for food preservation? So here we could say, well, if we don't have electricity, there are other ways for food preservation. The way that it went into the book is that the suggestion was that not to invest into subsidizing or increasing cheap energy production, but subsidizing or investing into better fridges that consume less energy. And then you get, at the end, you get the same result. So again, it's you decide, one can decide with this, where do you want to go? And I love it. For me, I use this as a way of really simplifying my life. So it's okay, why do I need to have a cappuccino in a cafe? Well, I need company, I need a place to sit. I often don't have a table. So, okay, can I get those things in a different way? That doesn't mean that I have to go somewhere and whatever. That's the kind of way I like to use this. Does that make sense? Are there any questions? If not, I would suggest we just do it. So I'm going to invite us. Should we go into small groups? Should we just stay together? Let's just stay together. Sorry, I'm very nosy. Think of, just take some moments for yourself, maybe, yeah, a minute or two, to think of something, one thing that you have in your life or that you need, that you say, oh, I really need money. I need money right now. I need a bath. I don't know, whatever. And take some time to go through with those questions. And maybe I will do breakout groups so we have more time. I am going to invite us to just take a moment. Thank you for coming back. I was a bit afraid that I was going to lose you. And if you feel like it, I would love for us to harvest. If you found a need and a surrogate, and anything else that maybe emerge from that, in this part of our festival mirror board. And if you don't, if it's annoying because you're on a device, or if you don't want to go and look at the mirror board, let me know if you're not finding it. You should be in a blue place that says Needs Cascade. And then there are pairs of stickers. One is pinkish for the surrogate, and one is bluish for the need, for the actual need. So the invitation is to spend a few minutes just maybe harvesting some of the wisdom there. And you can put it in the chat if you can't be bothered to go to the mirror board.
This is amazing. I was telling Ben, I've seen most economies today go into synthetics, and people don't know the benefit in the organic things. Like, people keep changing.
Yeah.
People keep changing their choices and tests. Like, they want to accept anything.
Yeah. Yes.
God.
I have been so much with what you shared a few calls ago about the effects of education, so to speak, university education and general education on that you were sharing the story from your eldest Fred. It's been so much with me. And how much of modernity comes with, banana flavoring instead of banana.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I'm seeing that through community education programs, maybe we wanna do some better change for the future than the formal education does. Yeah, I've continued observed that the formal education is an agent of something else. Is an agent of something else, because like in my country, the most people who are destroying the environment, the most people who are corrupt, the most people are doing all sorts of evil, are the educated one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, and the community continues saying, "Oh, Fred, you're saying that," but educated people are the ones who are doing this and this. I get humbled. Yeah, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Then what is the change that we need to do? Is it less formal education or more kind of natural education? I don't know. I'm going to bring us back.
Actually,
Just a moment, Fred. I'm just going to bring people back from the mirror board, and then we can continue. What's emerging for you? And please, Fred, continue. I didn't want to interrupt you, and I did.
Well, I think more of this is like this one we're having right now. The presentation you've made has been a bit simplistic and touching, you know, creating space for people to meditate. Very, very I was sharing with Zain about that.
I lost you.
And what 10, 20 people, you know, into climate action than engaging many would be costly to the organization, you know. So but indeed you realize that spaces that make people unlearn, relearn, you know.
Yeah.
People unlearning the wrong perceptions, you know, saying,
Yeah.
oh, doing and this and this and this is more harmful. I rather do this way, you know. Like that example, you've put. I've seen even Ben putting it that chocolate is as metals, right? But it's sweet. So maybe if the desire is I can see that if the desire is joy, can't we find joy from something else that is morally right?
Yeah, from company or laughter.
Maybe something organic.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
I see that, but yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm just going to invite if there are any other wisdoms that people want to share, maybe something that came up from your Kate.
Not so much that followed from our group, but I wanted to follow up from what Fred was saying about education. Is that okay?
Yes, absolutely.
I, for one time, was very familiar with what Tanzania's first president wrote about education, a policy of elimu ya kujitegemea, which is education for self-reliance. And the whole policy was assuming that most children in a village would only get primary school education. So the most important thing was an education that was oriented around the needs of the village and the needs of most children. But gradually, over a period of maybe a generation, the education system curriculum slowly got changed. So it was all about who was going to get access to secondary education and training people for those tests and exams and training them into modernity. And they never took the policy away of education for self-reliance. It was never taken away, and people said that's not our policy anymore. So people subscribed to it. Government subscribed to it verbally, but in practical terms, everything was the education of modernity. And so under the original policy, there was land allocated to every primary school for growing food, and children were taught about growing food in school. But this gradually got changed, and the land was rented out to other people to make money for the school, so that the school could buy textbooks to get the children through the exams. So it was how a really good community-oriented policy that understood the needs of the majority gradually got transformed into something that did the opposite in the name of giving people access to the modern world.
And that's possibly one of those big flashy surrogates that at least I see a lot in my life as well. Any last words of wisdom? I'm just aware we have just a couple of minutes left. I would like to just share something that felt really juicy. Thank you, Helen. When we notice the things that, the things that are not working in other people. So noticing, oh, that's my behavior when somebody else does it, felt really important to have as part of this cascade as well. Any more words, Suzanne, Ben, or Helen?
I was thinking about the education thing as well. I did my thesis when I was in my late 50s, actually went back to school, on basically the idea of teaching from a partnership perspective, so that children from their first exposure to education are really learning that it's all about really hearing one another. And the teachers hearing the students and the students hearing one another. And that's the basic underlying thing under every subject matter, having children choose subject matter as well as the teacher, it all being something that's going around where everybody is involved and everybody's ideas and needs are honored. Called partnership education.
Partnership education. Going to add it there as well.
Seeing Suzanne, which I'm so happy to do, I would say that I started NVC with this idea of needs, that things would work so much better if I worked on needs. And again, those were real needs, not superficial needs. They were supposed to be human universal needs. But I have moved it so that my education program is no longer about needs. It's about my confusion about knowing what's going on with me. And there's no use coming up with needs if I'm not in touch with what's really going on and what's really a priority.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes. Ben, anything you would like to add? No need for that.
Coffee hasn't kicked in. I'm going to do the power nap where the coffee wakes me up 20 minutes later.
I learned that from an amazing musician. So I am going to bring us to a close, and this is just a taster. I'd love to do this practice together because I learned just by doing it with Helen so much. What she shared really resonated with me and informed my own cascade of needs. And again, you might have done this many times, but I really trust this practice at any level, at the project level, etc. And very often I've seen it how it brings aha moments of, actually we have this thing here. It was in the cellar and we've forgotten because we were so fixated on the new machine or so fixated on that new thing that we thought we needed. So yeah, thank you so much for coming and exploring this kind of pet tool from me. And I hope you got something too. It was lovely to spend this hour together.
Thank you so much, Tita. It's a simple thing, but somebody to hold the space and let us have the conversations. It's really appreciated. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. And there's going to be another session in 1 hour about node creation. So it's a node lab. about how to bring nodes to life in Kofaniko. Thank you, Fred. Thanks for
Bye-bye,
everybody's wisdom.
everybody.
Thank you.